Let me introduce you to someone. Meet Humza Yousaf. He's 37 years old, and earlier this week, he took oath as Scotland's First Minister, replacing Nicola Sturgeon. Now, we are not talking about Yousaf because of how young he is or because he is the new leader of Scotland. To be honest, we're also talking about Humza Yousaf today because he's a man of Pakistani origin, the son of first-generation immigrants from Pakistan. He was born in Glasgow and now he is leading Scotland. So just look at that map of the British Islands, will you? You have Leo Varadkar, of course, in Ireland there, and you've got Humza in Scotland, and of course you've got Rishi Sunak in Britain. He is, of course, the Prime Minister of the UK in general. Also, the irony is just getting started. If you take a look at that entire picture that I was outlining for you, look at the UK. Who is leading it? Who is the Prime Minister? An Indian-origin man, Rishi Sunak. Both Humza Yousaf and Sunak, by the way, have Punjabi lineages. And Punjab just happens to be the same province that was the worst hit by the partition in 1947. One that many people would accuse the British of having orchestrated. So decades later, you have two men of Punjabi descent who could potentially be discussing and debating and arguing over the partition of the UK. Because Humza Yousaf has made it clear that he will be championing the cause of Scottish independence.
And for those of us in this room and watching who do believe in independence, we will only win by making that case on the doorsteps. And my solemn promise and commitment to you is that I will kickstart our grassroots, our civic-led movement, and ensure our drive for independence is in fifth gear. The people of Scotland need independence now more than ever before, and we will be the generation that delivers independence for Scotland.
So is this empire striking back or history coming back to bite Britain in some way or the other? The Western media doesn't entirely like the sound of such thoughts, so instead it is celebrating Yousaf's election for some other reasons, as, quote, one of the greatest triumphs of social mobility, unquote. And that's the Telegraph for you. And maybe there's a point to think about out here. Today, it's appearing that South Asians are better placed to navigate the UK through the plethora of problems out there, be it the financial crisis in the UK or the cost of living crisis in Scotland, or for that matter, building a case for Scottish independence. The only big difference for Humza, I guess, is one major factor. Indians overseas have often objected to this entire label of South Asians are having success because they point out, with some accuracy I might add, that a lot of what has been happening are really people of Indian origin. All those global CEOs are of Indian origin. Rishi Sunak, Indian origin. A lot of the big rich people, Indian origin. So they say, why do you keep using the term South Asia? Humza Yousaf, to that extent, is one of the first people of Pakistani origin that have made it all the way to the top. Mayor of London, maybe, but that is a valid point that some in the Indian diaspora will certainly raise. But the next question, how much should those watching Yousaf and Sunak from South Asia be celebrating the success of these gentlemen? While their rise is inspiring and admirable, expecting them to favor India or Pakistan in each case could be a bit much. Remember, these men are answerable to voters in the UK and in Scotland, not to Indians or Pakistanis. So don't expect them to play favourites because they already clear signals that they're not going to be doing that. I'll give you just one example. Look what happened in London. India's High Commission was attacked. India's flag was brought down. The UK did not provide enough security at the Indian High Commission at that point, and a lot had to be done to get them to do it. And all of this was under the leadership of Rishi Sunak. You get my point. So while you admire the unfolding irony, do not forget to draw a line and to remember these men have been elected to do a particular job for their constituencies and their countries. It doesn't have all that much to do with South Asia.